everyone in some part of their lives would have used UPS, whether it is probably in your house, probably in your small offices if you have, or even in your companies, the existing companies currently. For sure, you have used UPSs, and what we know it is as an IT equipment, which basically has a lot of electrical components inside, microprocessors, etc. And it does calculations of millions of operations probably per second. Now, what is the main purpose or usage of a UPS? It's basically um, to help clean whatever power supply that's coming into the unit from your utility company, which is if it's in Dubai, sorry, within UAE, you have both the utility companies over here, which basically give you the power. Deva, Seva, and the one in Abu Dhabi as well. So all of them give you power. Now, all these powers are not clean all the time. So you'll actually notice there'll be difference in power. It might not be constant all the time. There might be a variation in there. There could be frequency variation. There could be a lot of noise. So it depends. The whole purpose of a UPS is basically to filter all of it, and at the end of the day, give you a very clean output load, so that none of your critical load, whether it's in your house, for example, or maybe if it's a very small setup with couple of your workstations or desktop machines, or even if it's going in to a small office or home office wherein you have a set of networking equipments like your routers, your switches, your firewalls, or going up to a small data center where there are racks of such servers and networking devices, or even larger data centers where there are blade servers and storage arrays and tape arrays being running on that. All these set of equipments would need a power supply or a power protection device to protect all these equipment. So if you are into a system integration company or a reseller, this is how we are providing you a good opportunity by actually being able to sell backup power, which will invariably be needed for within or be used in any of these kind of companies or end customers of yours, whether it's from a small office to a small closet of IT closet which they have in their office, to a data center range. All these variants you can still have backup UPSs or models which are there or available to you provided from Eaton. Now, the backup solutions which are there, most of the times what you get to see is it's sometimes very hard to monitor or manage any of these devices. Sometimes you will notice that these power solutions which are there does not really meet your requirement or your customer's requirement. Couple of reasons why is because as it's mentioned here, there might be a lot of heat generation, because of which your IT rooms start to get heated enough, and because of that, there's no enough cooling in the room. Sometimes it's very complicated to install the device, probably onto a rack or into somewhere wherever within your data center. Sometimes the total cost of ownership is too much for your IT team to handle, and you always have to rely on the vendor, or keep calling them, or probably buy a lot of services from them. Sometimes even growth as such would not be there, because tomorrow you buy a power solution or a UPS which is for example catering to 1 or 2 or 5 kVA, for example, but tomorrow you add another router or another switch onto your network, and it's not able to support that. So these are some of the various factors which are there, wherein which you would notice the backup solutions do not meet your requirement or your customer's requirement. this is one of the reasons why we position Eaton, because when using Eaton as a solution, they uh, all their products, if you look at it, um, has been properly researched and developed within all their R&D centers to give you basically a very good power efficiency with very limited heat dissipation from these products. At the same time, give you a very efficient uptime. Now, these are some of the reasons or advantages wherein which um, which Eaton as a power vendor has to provide, and for the companies over here. Now, Eaton has always been um, moving into the green grid or into the green efficiency or energy efficiency part for their UPSs. Uh, all their UPSs has been well tested within their testing environment, so that as it says, give you consume lesser energy and also dissipate lesser heat into the environment and reducing the emissions into the environment. Um, the models also, some of the models are also part of their recyclable program, so they're all some of them have ROSH HS certification. Even the same goes with the batteries that they have, or the battery vendors that they have or provide with their UPSs also. The green logo, as you can see here, or the green leaf that you can see here, is a certification which is provided by Eaton to some of their models, which are very energy efficient. So when you reach out to us or look through their product catalog or within the website, you will notice some of their models have been given special priority or with this green logo, which means they've actually been tested several times to ensure that it's much efficient for the capacities that it has, and much better than its competition or competitors which are out there in the field. The other memberships that they have is the Green Grid member and the UPS Grade. As you can see here, Eaton has over the years been part of these energy efficient UPS Grade members as well. Going back to what an UPS is, everyone knows what it stands for, which is uninterruptible power system. And like I said, it's basically a UPS is an IT equipment or a device which is an interface between your main utility, as well as on the other side wherein you have your sensitive IT load or equipments which are out there. The whole idea purpose of the UPS is to give it a sufficient backup time, so that if in case you run out of power, or there's a shutdown, the entire building, if there's a blackout or a brownout within the city or within that building or within that office space, for example, of the customer, the UPS should be able to give sufficient power to power it on, again varying from ranges of time intervals between from minutes to hours. Depending on that, we can size a solution based on the customer needs that can be done, and provide it to the customer, so that at the end of the day, the IT manager or the data center manager should be easy, or for him to safely shut down an equipment as and when needed, if there's a complete shutdown of the power within the building. Now, there are a couple of how does an UPS work? If there are a couple of components within a UPS, because of which these units actually work. These are some of the the 2-3 main components. Now, again, adding to that, and or based on the level of models which are there, yes, there will be addition of many more components, but the three basic ones which are there are a rectifier or a charger, and which is mainly used to transform your utility company's AC current, and convert it into a DC, basically for the battery which is there, which is the other set, which is the next. component which is available within a UPS. Usually the type of batteries will be a lead acid, and then there are other types of batteries which are there as well, but the general ones which are available is a lead acid batteries. Again, in that, if you go into depth of it, there are different cells, different strings in that, which will vary based on the models. But in simple terms, yes, it's a set of battery which will store all the charge into DC, and finally you have an inverter, wherein which, as the name suggests, it's to convert your DC current into AC and give it out into the for your equipment, which can be your any of your IT equipment for which it's being purchased or used for. Within the UPSs also there are different topologies which are there and available. We won't be going into the depth of this because this is going to be more like a product overview session as of now. But the three main topologies which are there are a passive standby UPS, a line interactive UPS, and a double conversion UPS. So if you're already into the power industry or been selling UPSs and power solutions to your customers, you would ideally get different set of questionnaires or questions saying we want a line interactive UPS model or a double conversion UPS model. So these can be some of the questions that you get apart from saying what is the power rating that a customer is looking for. But nevertheless, even if you are new to this field or into the power field, and your customer is asking you for a solution, you can always reach out to us, and we or my team or I can personally help you out in designing the solution for you. Eaton as a company has a balanced mix of the products in the power quality product portfolio. As you can see, they have models ranging from the single phase UPSs to the three-phase UPSs through to DC systems, which are usually used for your telecom companies. That's where it's mainly used. You have the EPDUs or PDUs as you call it, which is the power distribution unit, wherein you connect all your servers and your IT equipments to these PDUs, and from there onto your UPSs. We have softwares which are available within which you can monitor the loads which are going into the UPSs, and you can get to see how the connectivity and all of that is. So some of the softwares can also help you monitor these loads individually or as per socket, or each per socket it can be monitored as well. Finally, there are the services which Eaton provides, which is when it comes to the warranty. Some of the models we'll be going through that in terms of the different warranty that they have, their maintenance, which all can be taken care of either from Eaton itself. Now, let's go quickly through starting with the single phase models of Eaton which are there and available. Before that, I just wanted to quickly run you through, as you can see on this slide, on the left hand side of the slide, you can see the different power brands which are there and available. The most common ones of these which are well known in the market, or I would say rather at least in the power segment, which are well known in the market, is Powerware and MGE Office Protection System. Now these are all some of these. I mean, all these models, all these brands which I mentioned here are the acquisitions by Eaton. All of them belong to the Eaton electrical segment of theirs. Powerware and MGE Office Protection Systems were some of the earlier model UPSs or well-known brands which are out there in the market. So tomorrow, if somebody asks you saying, "I want a Powerware model," you should be aware that it means it's an Eaton product which they're asking for. Starting with the single phase models of Eaton which are there and available are in the offline field. They have the power protections stations over here. That's the three which is mentioned here, or the Ellipse Echo. Within the line in the interactive topology or category of the Eaton single phase UPSs, they have Ellipse Pro, the 5P and the 5PX. Within the online segment, we can see they have the EX and the 9PX. Now, all of them have various, of course, different capacities. We'll be going through a couple of them. These are different series which are there available. So there's 3, 5, and 9. So this numbers that you see here, which is 3, 5, and 9, is based on the different voltage or the power problems that you can actually get to see in within an environment. So 9 means this can basically solve all the power problems or issues which is usually there within, and that's the highest most range or category of single phase. In the single phase category, that these are the highest models which are there available for power protection. So quickly for the Soho models which they have is the Eaton protection stations. Basically, these models which are there are for surge protection. At the same time, they also provide backup. So if it's your customer is just starting up with a very small office, not many employees, not many devices, you can probably look at providing the Eaton protection station as a backup for their office. It can also be used for home uses, for connecting your loads from your TV or your Wi-Fi or broadband router which is there at home, for example. Now, some of the features of these of this particular model is again its design. It's just recently come out. It's a totally new model. It's compatible with the IEC standards of IEC 61643-1 standards. As you can see, the device itself is recyclable. Along with that, you also get a user manual when you purchase this, or for your customer, you also have LEDs. This is basically the breakup of it. The range starts from 500 VA to 800. So there's 500, 650, and 800 VA, which is available for this particular unit. Again, a couple of features which are there is there are lots of indicators. There are few sockets which are specific for surge protection, while the other ones does both the functionality, which is for backup as well as for surge protection. Moving forward, we have the Ellipse Echo. That's again an offline or standby topology-based UPSs, which can be used for your to basically to protect your desktops, your monitors, your laptops which are there. If it's a very small IP telephony systems or point of sale terminals, you can use the Ellipse Echo, which is again a new model which is there available from within Eaton. Now, as you can see, these the blue lines right here, some of these models have the it works on the functionality of a master slave sort of a solution, wherein which say for example your desktop is connected to one of these sockets, and the other socket, if you have or in your slave socket, if you connect your monitor, ideally when you switch, people normally tend to forget to shut down your monitor. They probably will shut down the desktop, but they forget to shut down the monitor. So these devices are intelligent enough or as a feature to, as and when you shut down the desktop, your monitor would automatically, which is connected to the slave, they automatically go down to a shutdown mode. So thereby it helps you in saving a lot of power, and at the same time also provides you a backup solution for the system. For the non-critical outlets, they also have separate peripherals or sockets which are there available. Now, all the models or all the ranges of UPSs also have is available in the sockets which are there, which is IEC, French, SUCO. In this region, we usually use IEC. So this is what you would ideally ask us, or even if you don't know, we will give you based on where your customer is located. We will give you the right set of sockets which are needed for your UPS systems. A quick, overview or technical description of these models, which are also there on the Eaton website. But you can quickly go through. It's basically meant for protection from 500 VA all the way to 1.6 kilowatt ampere. The Eaton Ellipse Pro is a line interactive UPS, which is recently launched. As you can see, the new models of the Ellipse, which is called as the Ellipse Pro, have come with LCD screens on it, basically a display wherein which the IT administrator or the engineer can basically go and see what is the current load which is running on the UPS. You can see it in different forms basically over here. The status of the UPS, whether there's a fault on the battery, if it's working well. You have it in the form of a graph as well to show you how much charge is there on the battery, or when it's running on the backup mode. Again, the measurement is also shows you what's the voltage, the frequency, and the load which is currently being running on for this unit. The sockets which are there available, or the outlet sockets, again is available in these different models, which is French, Schuko, and IEC outlets. These models by default come with a 3-year warranty, so it basically takes off all the headaches and the pains that an IT or your customer would have to go through, because for 3 years the unit is completely taken care of by Eaton. Should you come across any sort of an issue with the unit or backup of the power. The different various ranges which are there available, it goes along from 650 to 1.6 kVA for these models. This is also meant for 20% of energy savings, as it's been tested from Eaton itself. Complies with the IEC standards for surge protection and automatic voltage regulation, or AVR as we call it. These models also have USB ports, as you can see. If it and also an option to connect your power management software and monitor. This can also be done remotely, so or from your laptop itself. So initially there's a basic set of configuration that has to go onto these units, and from there you can start to monitor this from remotely itself. Now, a quick comparison of having an Ellipse Echo Pro and an Ellipse Echo is that the Echo does not have a LCD display or voltage regulation. The automatic voltage regulation is not there because it's an offline based UPS. LCD display is another, like I said, an additional feature of the Ellipse Pro. Again, in terms of warranty, you can see that there's 2 years warranty on the Echo, while there's 3 years warranty which is provided by Eaton on the Ellipse Pro. Another reason is you can probably also look at upselling your Echo to an Ellipse Pro, basically giving your customer a line interactive based UPS rather than an offline UPS. Now, another model which is there in the line interactive is the 5P range and the 5PX range. Now, these starting with the 5P range, these are available in 2 models or 2 versions, as you can see. One is the tower-based one, and the other one is the rack mountable one. So based on where your customer wants to keep or host these UPS boxes, we will suggest you to go with either one of them. The rack mountable one is 1 U in size. So you should be easily able to mount it on any of the IT racks which are there available. Some of the accessories that comes along with these units, which are optional or can be separately asked for, are the network management card, you can get the SNMP card for it. There's also a Modbus card, which is also there available for these units, basically all meant for communication purposes. As a maintenance bypass, also you have another uh, option provided for these models. Going to the 5TX range, which is their high-end line interactive models, which are there available, are mainly for your network devices, your big servers or tower-based servers, and also for your rack mountable servers which are there. Now, the 5PX models are mainly meant for um, virtualization. So if you already have critical IT applications running on these servers of yours, you can these are the models that you can go for. Now, Eaton has already tied up or has tested all these models to work well with VMware. If you have vCenter, you can get it to be integrated with Microsoft Hyper-V. It can also be used for capacity management, and these models are very or highly energy efficient devices as well. These models are mainly meant. It's mid-range models which are there available. You can again, it depends on the customer's requirement, on how much capacity of power that he's looking for, where it's going to be used. Based on that, we can suggest him this model or any other model that will actually suit his requirement. This is how the connectivity side or part of the UPS looks like, for you to get a quick look at it. Some of these sockets are also arranged in two groups which are there available, group 1 and group 2, and these the power or the load which is going through these sockets can be monitored separately on the display unit of the UPS, or else you have the other option of remotely logging in and monitoring these devices as well. Like I said, these units also have an Ethernet connection or socket which is there available, with which you can remotely log in and view the status of the device. You can also have you can also remotely do a reboot of the system. You can also remotely do a safe shutdown of the devices. Now, should your power outage be going more than the specified time period or backup time period of the UPS, you can also remotely shut it down rather than having the engineer run into the lab or into the data center and shut down the equipment manually. So basically, it saves us time from running around the whole place. You can do it remotely as well. These models have, like I said, the display screen, which is very intuitive. There are different languages available, 7 different languages available on it. Um, these these uh, these screens also have, um, based on whether it's the tower or the rack, or especially the rack, you can actually even rotate the display screen. So if you keep it straight, you can keep it straight. And what it does is what the menu on the LCD screen does is it helps you easily measure the power consumption. It shows you any alarm in case of it. These are the different displays. There are also LED lights which will tend to glow in case of any alarm, or any fluctuation or variation is there on that, in both the forms. As you can see, this is a sample of how the display is or would look on the 5PX model. These 5PX models are 99% efficient. They also give you 0.9 power factor, which is on when connected to all its load equipments. Very rarely will you actually get to see such power factor being given to you by competition, which is out there, and especially this being a line interactive topology based UPS. The different models or variation of power models which are available in terms of capacity is 1.5 kVA. Then there's 2.2 kVA, and the highest in this range being 3 kVA, which is there available. Now, another thing to note here is the power factor for each of them. So if you actually look at the real power that which the unit or the unit can take up is like for the 3 kVA, as you can see, is 2.7. So that's why you have a power factor of very high power factor of 0.9, which is there available. Now, some of these models also come in different versions. The two different versions, which is the standard version, excuse me, as well as the model with the NetPack version. Now, the NetPack version has a combination of the network module card. By default, again, if you order the standard version and later at some point in time your customer thinks they need to add the network module card, that can also be done. If not, from you can also buy the unit directly with the network module card. Now, along with these models, you also get a racket when you order these units, basically giving you the flexibility of keeping the unit as a tower. And maybe later tomorrow, if you change your mind, or you change your office space or the location, and you want to mount it on an IT rack, you have that flexibility, because by default you get the rack mounting kits along with the equipment, and you're not paying anything extra on these boxes. Now, this again, if you look at it, is not an option or an accessory that all the vendors would actually give you, but Eaton has made it very easy for their customers basically to go with such models, so that they are benefited out of this. Now, if you want more battery backup or time period on these models, you also have a EBM, or a extended battery management module. You'll basically attach this with the UPS to increase your backup time. Going forward to the line interactive online based models which are there, which starts off with the 9PX. These models again have just recently come into the portfolio. These have been engineered a lot by their R&D department, and now has been successful in this market, or worldwide, with their starting models of their online based UPSs. Very energy efficient, and provides you more power for any models which are there in this particular range or class of series which is available. Again, meant for all mission critical IT equipments. It provides you, being online, it provides you protection from all the 9 power problems which are usually there. Just to name some few of them, it's like if there's frequency variation, if there's harmonic distortion, if there's line noise, and then the other over voltage or under voltage or surge protection. All of them, these are just to name a few, but all of them are actually being protected by these class or series of UPS systems. These models are all future-proof. Again, they can be used for parallel connections. They are very energy efficient. It's mainly meant for a virtualized IT environment. It can be used for that as well. It integrates, like I said, it integrates with your VMware vCenter software which you have from VMware, also with Microsoft Hyper-V, Citrix, Red Hat. Name it. There's already an integration which is done and has been rolled out along with these models. The 9PX series also has displays which is rotatable. It can be adjusted to your viewing angle. So now, tomorrow, like if you wish to put it like a tower, vertically, or if you put it on a rack horizontally, you can rotate the LCD to your best viewing angle, and it can be still monitored from the device easily. The unit can be, yeah, whether you put it as on a tower or on a rack, you can still rotate the display and keep it ready for that. Being a double conversion or online conversion topology model, it constantly monitors your power conditions and helps you regulate your voltage and frequency. That's the main purpose of the online models. And like I said, the energy efficiency of these of the 90x models, whether it's on full load or half load, is very high compared to the other competitive models which are there. The 90x models ranges from 5 kVA, 6 kVA, 8, and all the way up to 11 kVA. As you can see, this is a very quick calculation which was conducted by the Eaton team, and based on the unit and the load that has been going into it. So based on the efficiency, you can see that the savings or energy saving per year has been calculated roughly around 350 euros, which is a huge amount that can be delivered or given to you, especially by 11 kVA based model. These are some of the other features which are there that you get with the 9PX. This is free of cost, which is the internal bypass. You have a maintenance bypass in case you want to, remove the unit for servicing purposes. You can give the connection directly from your utility to the load without actually, disrupting the connection of the entire UPS. So these are some of the features which is very critical and needed, and this is provided by Eaton on the 9PX models and the higher end three-phase models also. Warranty wise, Eaton provides you 2 full years of warranty, including for the batteries when you buy a 9PX model. You also have an option to extend this warranty to 3 years or to 5 years based on what your customer would need or require. But when we say it's covered under warranty, it means any problem, as in any issue with the unit, from the unit going bad or not powering up on time or not being able to store proper backup on the unit, or if you see any of the alarm which goes out red, you can just give a call to Eaton and they will help come and serve you, send a technician to your place and work on the case or the issue. Again, quick comparison of these of the 9PX models. 5 kVA, 6, 8, and 11 is what is there available. Some models have the NetPack version, while the other ones have NetPack plus the bypass model, which is provided. Yes, the price varies for each of them. Now, this will all boil down to what your customer needs. On top of that, if he needs more backup time, we have the EBMs or the extended battery management modules, which are also available. So all these, as you can see, that there's a lot of flexibility that Eaton actually provides you. Now, moving forward, we have the three-phase models of Eaton, which ranges from the 9. It's basically the 991 or 9X55 or 93, 9X series. It goes above. So anything with the 9XXX models are all three-phase models or three-phase options which you have. Again, in some of them, you get three-phase input. The smaller ones, you get three-phase input and single-phase output, while the rest of them will all be three-phase input and three-phase output. All these models very highly efficient. These come in the UPS itself comes in the in the Eaton racks itself. So these are all tower based ones. It's from 15 kVA and above. These cannot be rack mounted because that itself is a physical unit which comes by itself from Eaton. But yes, if you want to increase the battery backup and add additional batteries to it, you have an option to either use an open rack, or you have an option to use the Eaton racks which comes for these batteries. But yeah, but you can see that they range all the way from 8 kVA to the highest being 1.1 MVA, or 1100 kVA is the maximum range of power uh, that you can go up to. Now, all these are also future-proofed models, because of which, if you buy one of the models and tomorrow you need to expand your products which are there on your racks, basically your IT products, you can still keep adding more batteries, and you wouldn't have to change the entire system or buy a new one for that. Uh, Capacity can also be built up based as and there'll be parallel synchronization. Now there are many other technologies which or patented Eaton technologies that are being used over here for the three-phase models. We can quickly go through them as and when we go, or if you have any doubts, you can raise that up. First model of three-phase is the 9155 or the 9355. As you can see in the description over here, it ranges from 8 until 40, and then the model also ranges or changes here. 9155 has 8 to 10 kVA from single phase to single phase, while the other models are three-phase single phase. 9355 is only three-phase models which are available. Compact, gives you very good backup time, and it gives you a premium power performance. And these are some of the technologies that Eaton has for parallel redundancy purposes. They have hot sync, which is a technology. Also, ABM, or advanced battery management, is another technology to in simple terms, to increase the life of your UPS battery. 9390 goes from the range of 40 kVA to 160 kVA, which is it's mainly meant for mid-sized data center, your telecommunication products, your BMS systems, healthcare models. All of them can be those are the key applications which can be utilized using this 9390 model. Again, feature and capability wise or benefit wise, you cannot beat it when it comes to the features that you get for the price that you pay for these units. Then this comes the highest model, 9395, which ranges from 275 kVA all the way to 1100 kVA. This is the top of the range model, which is currently available within Eaton. You can have redundancy of actually adding 6 units in parallel. So should there be any outage, probably within that entire data center, this can take it up. The units can actually be a full backup for it. Again, completely energy efficient. It has hot sync features. Basically, it has a very highly or advanced architecture which is running on these models. Finally, we'll go to the blade UPSs. Again, these are all with power factor 1. So you can see that each of them is 12 kilowatt of power. They use about 6 U of rack space. Yeah, and these units come with they come with the batteries itself into these blade UPS. Now, tomorrow, as and when your organization grows or your requirement for your IT load grows, all you have to do is just keep adding on these blade UPSs. There's no further integration or changes, or not much of any changes required in the units. You just keep adding them onto your 19-inch rack or IT rack itself. So this gives you basically a lot of flexibility of even adding the UPS onto your normal IT racks. Again, these are proprietary to Eton. No other vendor provides you something of this sort. And all these units can be connected in parallel itself by using their parallel cable accessory. Moving forward to the next level, which is the PDUs or the power distribution units, which you can use. Eaton has a wide range of distribution units available, varying from the basic models all the way up above to the managed models. Now, for our agents, we have the IEC 13, which will 32013, which will be used to connect all your IT equipments and your output load for IEC 19, which will be there on these models. Now, the variation on all the PDUs is some of them would have monitoring capability. Some of them has the displays on it, where in which you can see how much load is going through it. These are some of the features, and it also some of them has SNMP cards. So as the model ranges, or the more in depth you want to go into these models, you can log into it or buy that sort of required PDU for your usage or your customers' usage. You have models available, variants available, which can be the 42U, the 19-inch racks, which are vertical, or 0U is what it's called. At the same time, they also have the horizontal one, which can be mounted on the 19-inch racks. The PDUs are also very flexible. You can use it on any rack, any vendor rack, so it gives you the flexibility to use them on any racks, and it's not specific only to any specified set or model of racks. Then we have the softwares which are available from Eaton, mainly meant for monitoring. We have the Intelligent Power Manager and the Power Protector, which comes along with these UPSs and the EPDUs. The main purpose of this is to monitor when it's a huge data center or data center which is spread across the world. As an IT administrator or system admin, you would want to sit in one location and monitor the loads or the power capacity of each of the device or the load that's going through your UPS and through your PDU. So these softwares basically give you a high level as well as in-depth. You can go to the detailing of seeing which socket and how much power is going through a particular socket also within your UPS or your PDUs. These come in different variants. You can have based on the number of loads. You have the option to pay for or going to the higher nodes. You have to pay for them, but some models you get for free, or the initial set of licenses are free. So with that, I conclude today's product overview of Eaton. But yes, definitely going forward, or in our next session of webinars or the events that we conduct, we will be going through in depth of some of these models again. As a reseller, if you're new to Eaton, you can feel free to visit on their website, which is www.eaton.com/powerquality. You can also become a reseller. This page or this slide shows you how, as a partner, you can become a reseller of Eaton. If you're totally new to it, just log into the site. You have an option on the right-hand side of the page, which says "Become a Reseller." Fill in the details of yourself and your company organization details, and somebody from the local sales team in your region will contact you and start engaging with you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for attending this session with us today on Eaton Power Quality. We do look forward to meeting you in Dubai for the upcoming session. As I mentioned earlier, there will be sessions in other Middle East countries, and as and when they have been scheduled, we will share them with you well in advance from our marketing team. and we look forward to meeting you all in person. Once again, on behalf of Eaton and Redington, we'd like to thank you for this session, for being part of the session. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day ahead.